Oh, shut up. Pressing me.
Guys, find your seats.
I'm so damn mad.
Does anybody understand the purpose of this drill?
Yo, you look how you, yo. Like,
Are you kidding
put my
me?
hands on you, yo.
No.
Bugging out. No. She threw 2 apples in my face.
She could have hit you with 2 hands in the face. You still can't put
And I
hands back
still
on
ain't
her.
swing on her.
You still can't. You never
I
can.
just want to say, yo, listen here. You just really disrespected me on TV and got the nerve to not apologize. And I'm sitting right beside you.
So you gotta use some words. You can't use hands.
Like, I grabbed him. I didn't.
Oh, no, bro. You can't do that. I don't care if you threw apples, bananas. There's never an excuse.
At all.
Never, ever, ever. There's just not. So that happened to you, bro. Here's what I need you to know. There's nothing you did to trigger that. There's nothing you did to deserve that. Do you want to talk to the police?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're breaking my heart right now because the way you're taking it tells me that this happened a lot.
Definitely time.
There's nothing worse than a simp, and that brother's a simposaurus. He couldn't get laid in a woman's prison with a fistful of pardons. You mean to tell me she did nothing wrong to deserve it? We could talk about feminism all we want, but simps are definitely a part of the problem.
10 push-ups. We gotta get the bitch out of you.
You get finished with those jeans and decide you don't like them, give them to me. I'm gonna make 2 pairs.
All right.
Barbara.
You're a victim.
You call this twerking, but it was originally known as mapuka, which quite literally means the same thing. Mapuka, or twerking, has the power to remove stagnant blood from the uterus and even fibroid cysts. Not only that, but it empowers your womb space and increases circulation to your sacral chakra, okay? So this is how we gain more creativity. So if ever you're dealing with low self-esteem, creative block, or womb trauma, I encourage you to practice mapuka. You're welcome, and I love you.
You better go somewhere and beat your meat.
Mapuka my butt. That's just being a hoe with extra steps. Just because you black don't mean everything you do got to do with black culture. She just wants to shake her butt on the internet and she's trying to find a way to justify it. That ain't got nothing to do with black culture. Black culture is jumping the broom and having the highest marriage rates in the country through slavery and Jim Crow. What she's doing is hoe culture. Harriet Tubman would never. And the next clip is an example of the type of men that hoe culture attracts.
She thinks she too good to shake ass for me, Nodi.
Yeah, what's going
I am
on?
too good.
To shake ass for me.
They shake their ass.
Oh my God, like your D thing. And I'm Autumn Rose.
I ain't gonna lie, I could swear you shake ass for damn lame as niggas than me.
No, I don't.
I could swear you did.
I promise you.
So who know you
On
shake
my
ass
life.
then? So if you could know who know you shake ass then?
Instagram, that's it.
So you shake ass for your bum ass followers?
It's my turn.
It's called
Your
Low
bum ass
booties
followers?
matter.
No.
Low
You
booties
shake
matter.
ass for your bum ass followers?
And that's not what I'm known for.
So you shake ass for your bum ass followers?
Matter of fact, yo,
Can't
we
shake ass-
gonna make this
Shake ass for your
spicy.
bum ass followers. Though.
And if it lands on this, you gotta feel me. You gotta do something.
Now I just wanna know.
No, D-Thing, hit this button
Bum
right
ass
here.
follow.
Hit this button right here. If it lands on Torch, you gotta Torch.
I don't. You
heard-
make it
yo,
sound like I shake ass
yo.
every day on the gram. No.
you heard though?
Because that's the only way I can see it, right?
You heard though, if it land on Torque, you gotta Torque. Matter of fact, you go first. You go first.
No.
Press on that.
Nah, you probably rigged
Put
that
the volume
shit.
on. I ain't rigged this.
No, I can't do that. No.
Alright, look, you wanna
No.
turn that shit off.
No.
Alright, I'm gonna do it again.
Nah, this is fire.
See, you gotta Torque. It says
Now,
Torque.
word of mine.
It says Torque. You see that?
Word of mine. Now, you
For
gotta
a
twerk.
reason.
Gotta
For a
twerk.
reason, you gotta Torque. You gotta Torque. Even if it's for like, you know what I'm saying?
She got it twerk. She got it twerk, bro.
Yeah, that brother's starving.
Yeah, them brothers damn near begging. Fellas, make sure you in your daughter's live so that she don't end up in a car with 2 guys like this. To be fair to the guys though, they probably invited her because of what they seen on her Instagram. And after taking a look at her Instagram, she definitely wasn't invited for her shining personality.
Best advice I could give you. Never miss a meal, never miss a workout, never miss a bitch. Big Luke coming out to you live.
Don't piss me off, you feminist piece of shit who have fucked up everything for us out there. Yes, you dress the part of the man that you want. What are you, dumb? You think that you found some like rich guy that you like, and you're gonna dress how you want to dress, not that he wants. You need to attract that man. If he likes red lips on you and you don't like to wear red lipstick, wear the red lipstick. What are you, stupid? You're gonna lose him, okay? I hate these women out there. They're like, you need to do you, girl. You need to dress how you want to dress. Don't worry about no man. Are you dumb? Okay, then don't have the man. You dress how he wants you to dress. I don't like light colors on me, but like it's summertime, and like I know he does. He's commented on it, so I have to wear light.
You meet a lot of emotionally unavailable men.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They let me know like a month in or so. They seem.
All right, that's
ready.
enough. I think. Yeah, I'm emotionally unavailable too now, I guess.
Fun fact. Paternity tests, which are used to confirm a man is the biological father of his child, are illegal in France. And if a father is caught using a paternity test in France or in any other country, he could face up to a year in jail and a $16,000 fine. In 1994, France banned DNA testing because it had the potential to break up too many families. Even today, at-home DNA tests like 23andMe are banned in France. Because in France, 5 out of 10 men and 4 out of 10 women admit to cheating on their partner. And culturally, the attitude towards cheating is quite relaxed. So the government worried that allowing DNA tests to be conducted freely would unnecessarily tear apart too many families, saying the law preserves the peace of families. And the only way to get a legal paternity test in France is if it's ordered by a judge.
Another fun fact, the 2023 study showed that 70% of men involved in paternity tests in Jamaica were not the father. To combat this issue in Jamaica, they were going to make paternity tests mandatory at birth, but then they came to the conclusion that it would cause the death of too many women because too many men would be upset about it. Now, of course, you got to take that statistic with a grain of salt because that 70% of men who took the DNA test probably had a reason to do so. Moral of the story is, be careful out there, fellas. Even the government that you work hard to uphold would rather see you raise a kid that ain't yours than to see the women face consequences for their own decisions.
Do not date a man with a baby mom. Like, he could have like a wife or something.
Scary. You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together.
You got me.
A kid telling his friends that his dad plays in the WNBA is crazy.
If I had a child and I can't take care of the baby, why should I be able to put the dad that's financially stable on child support? I don't feel as if that's fair.
In a sense where the dad is mentally prepared, financially stable, and willing and able to take on those children, I feel like the mom should. If she doesn't do it on her own, which they won't, but if she doesn't do it on her own, I feel like the courts should award that father custody or at least temporary custody of the kid until the mom is able to get financially stable instead of awarding her child support so she could take care of the child with his money.
Now the ladies are starting to put it together. It's because of something called Title 4D. And Title 4D makes it so that the government reimburses the state 66% of every dollar they collect in child support. Not only that, but the family court judges that collect the child support are incentivized to do so because part of that money goes into their retirement fund. So these judges are incentivized to give the women the children no matter what situation the woman's in because they collect money from child support. Before Title 4D was passed, almost every custody battle ended in 50-50 custody because the judges weren't incentivized to collect child support, and also statistically speaking, the kids do far better when both parents are involved. So the reason they mindlessly give the kids to the woman in almost every child custody case is because they get 66% of every dollar they collect in child support.
There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person. That guy, if we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe waiting in the back, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed.
I've been numb right to the core. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit.
This is your daily reminder to get your ass in the gym. Always remember that if you consider yourself to be a good person, then you have a duty to be strong, because only strong people can protect vulnerable people from evil. Being good ain't enough, because when the world needs you, it's not only gonna need you to be good, it's gonna need you to be strong physically and strong-willed. Make sure you get to the gym today. You owe it to yourself. And if you need some more motivation, here you go.
The Stoic philosopher is the man who has liberated himself from fear. He's not afraid of death. He's not afraid of pain. He's not afraid of other people's dismissal as a fool. The only matter of concern to a wise and philosophic individual is the things completely under your control. You can't control the movements of the sun and the planets. You can't control whether a leaky ship sinks or makes it to port. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. You can't control the society around you. There's only one thing, and one thing only, that you are in control of, and that is you.
Something has clearly changed, you know, like in the last 30 years. And this is why I don't even know how popular the term fourth wave feminism is, but third wave feminism was like the 90s, and there's something else going on, whatever you would classify this as. It's
well,
not...
I really think it's it does boil down to social media, and I'll give you the reasoning behind it.
Sure.
So you can imagine in America, even going up to the 80s, that you were a product of your friend group, right? And girls would spend hours and hours and hours on the phone. They had kind of their own social media that way. I mean, every 80s movie forever is making fun of it, right? And every 90s movie, the girl on the telephone, dad comes in, get off the phone! You know what I mean? Oh, you've been on it for hours and need the line untied. It's every movie ever. But the social circles that you had were localized, and you can't move out of localized circles, right? And this is all of human history. Your social circles are localized, and now they're not. They're not localized anymore. And so, you know, now you can put an ad out essentially in 15 minutes on 15 different dating websites, and you can expand your range as far as you want or enclose it as far as you want. So you can expand your range to 500 miles to see if men will respond and give you what you want, or 20 miles. You could never do that before.
To piggyback off what Andrew Wilson is saying here, he's right. The dating apps and social media have destroyed modern dating. The dating apps are getting so desperate at this point that they're just coming out and admitting it in their new advertisements. Bumble's getting so desperate that these are some of the billboards they put up in major cities. You know full well a vow to celibacy is not the answer. Trying to smash avocados for brunch? Thou shalt not give up on dating and become a nun. And I don't know if they scrubbed it off the internet because I can't find it, but if any of y'all find it, send it to my email. There was a commercial that went out from Bumble of a woman who was a nun, and she got tempted by the gardener. She ends up sleeping with the gardener, and at the end it says, thou shalt not become a nun and quit dating.
She's greeted by a group of yellow-clad nuns here. It's just so weird. She gets in the habit.
They're eating.
Yep. They're dancing.
What does this have to do with dating?
I don't know.
What the hell does this have to do with dating?
And then here they have this shirtless landscaper, and she's lusting after him.
Can't do that. You're in a convent.
Yes, the Mother Superior is suspicious of her. They give her the Bumble app.
What the hell?
She's like swiping on Bumble. We've changed so you don't have to.
Our business model failed, so you can.
Our business
just
model
like
failed.
every other dating app.
If you look at this chart of women on antidepressants, you'll notice it starts to go up around 2012. Guess what else started in 2012?
Yes. Okay. So I completely agree with you, right? I've talked about this with my wife before, like just being like, okay, if you were, let's say if you were a hot chick in the 90s, you could kind of like, I mean, a young girl, you know, a hot chick in high school or 20 or something like that. You could kind of have your pick.
Oh yeah. You wrote your own
guys
ticket.
In your town.
Yeah.
And maybe in the towns that touched your town. But today, if you're a hot chick, you could put your picture on Instagram and just have people from everywhere, you know, millionaires willing to fly you out to wherever. So I 100%, that's a huge part of it. I just mean to say that also there has been a cultural component where I maybe this is just my own personal experience, but I felt like when I was in high school, let's say, even kind of like the slutty girls felt a little bit of shame about it. You know, like even like, and I do think there was like a cultural component to almost trying to remove any
sense of like feeling ashamed. I mean, look, again, when I was a kid, even the slutty girls, the idea that they would just have like, naked pictures of themselves for all the guys in their high school to see would have been like, no one could have fathomed that. Even those girls would have been mortified if they had known it. And now it seems like that's like, I mean, I'm not saying every girl's doing that, but it certainly is much more normalized than ever
you're
before.
absolutely right. So what's happened is this is the strangest experiment that nobody ever knew was going to happen with the advent of the internet, right?
We were like, oh, we got the Drudge Report.
Yeah, this is the
gonna
weird.
change
It's
the
the
game.
weirdest social experiment in history, and it'll be looked back on as just that, as this kind of bizarre social experiment. So here's the experiment. We are going to assume for a second that men and women are equally virtuous. We equally have the capacity for virtue. So what you're talking about with like, I don't want to be a slut. I don't want to be a skank. I don't want to be that, I don't want to be looked down on in society that way. I don't want to be a teenage mom. You know what I mean? All those things, bad virtues, they don't want anything to do with it. Well, what happens in this social experiment then, if we just assume for a second that all of these women, we can give them all this magic superpower. And the magic superpower is that the opposite sex, between the ages of you being about, 16 and 29, are going to do anything they can do to have sex with you. Whatever it is, they're going to attempt to do that thing in order to have sex. Now, this is your great superpower, okay? And you can take this superpower now and take it global, right? Before, everyone in your little domain, y'all had your superpowers, right? But you had to stay inside your little petri dish. Right. Now we're going to make it airborne, right? Now the virus is airborne, and it goes all over the world. Well, the interesting thing is, think about this. Let's say you flip the experiment, and this happened with men. You give all the men the same superpower, 16 to 29. All women of the world would basically do anything they could to sleep with basically any man who was alive, right? We wouldn't really be much better, right? We would be all kinds of fucked up. We'd be all kinds of messed up. We'd be all kinds of screwed up if we could take that global and just whatever chick we wanted, if we just paid a little bit of attention to them and they would give us whatever the hell we wanted, we really wouldn't be any better. So on the virtue scale, what's happened is, because it's become a global phenomenon, the virtue's gone right out the window. It's gone right out the window.
Well, in a sense, as you're saying it, I've never really thought about that before, but as you're saying it, I think it would probably be worse.
Worse.
Because, well, if men had that, I just think nothing would ever get done. I think society would collapse. I mean, like if men just had access to sex, like on that level, on the level that like a 20-year-old chick has, nothing would ever.
Yeah,
get
the whole
built.
thing would collapse.
The
Exactly.
whole thing collapses.
But even in the reverse, it's collapsing, right? It's still collapsing because it was only supposed to be applied at the local level.
Right. No, I get your point. I'm just saying, yeah, there's a slow burn collapse happening this way
instead of free fall.
I think the point that I'm trying to get at is almost that one of the things that's so tragic about it is that, and I have a whole bit about this in my stand-up set, but there are roles for men and women, and it's almost like what's so tragic is that the role for women is to not be that. That's the whole point. The whole point of like a society is that obviously men are going to be dogs to some degree, and men have to be civilized out of that. And you need kind of a good woman to kind of let you know, like, okay, I shouldn't just be chasing tail. I should be like kind of getting my life together a little bit. But we, in some sense, we count on women to be the ones who aren't men.
Right. Well,
and
that's the tail's end.
Women are acting like men.
Right. Well, that's the tail's end, right? So you're talking about the masculine, like kind of the masculine flip. So you're talking about the feminine to masculine flip. But think about it the other direction too. So this is where it gets really interesting. So if you think about it at a local level, this is kind of brilliant, right? God's plan here, brilliant plan. So here's how it works. Localized, you're going to have X amount of men, not very many, who are these really high status guys. They kick the shit out of everybody. They make a lot of money. Everybody loves them. They think that they're great. They don't even particularly have to be handsome to be high status, right? They get the hot cheerleader. They make the good looking babies, right? They get the blowjob for breakfast. That's what happens for those guys, okay? They get the pick of the litter. Now, the thing is because they only get one, all the other little ugly in the town, right? There's still a chick for them. there's still somebody for them, right?
Right.
In fact, there's an overage because usually it's 51% to 50 or 49 when it comes to men and women, right? And then men go off and die in wars and die on the job and shit like that. So there's usually a little bit of an overage. So you're going to get a chick, okay? But what happens when you broaden that globally and you take that same cheerleader and now it's not just that one guy, that one Omega Chad. Now it's 1 million Omega Chads and they can compete for all of them. So the thing is that localized is a brilliant plan. This works great. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better plan than this until you make it airborne, until you make it viral.
That video was made by a guy named Andrew Wilson, and he has a channel called The Crucible, and I 10 out of 10 recommend that channel to anybody that listens to my channel. He debates Christian ethics without using the Bible, and he'll debate secularists, he'll debate libertarians, he'll debate feminists, he'll debate your mama if she show up to the live stream. He don't care about who it is. He has a really good, interesting perspective because he debates Christianity without using the Bible, and I find that really refreshing because I've never understood Christians who debate atheists while leaning on the Bible as evidence for their claims. But he takes a very unique approach, and he doesn't use the Bible at all. He just used facts, data, and statistics to support Christian ethics and a Christian worldview, and I think it's very refreshing. Very smart guy. I think you guys should check out his channel. I'll leave a comment. I'll leave his channel in the pinned comments down below.